Hi, folks. Welcome once again to Formula One. With me again, as usual, my partner in crime, OBJ.
Partner in crime. What an intro, Dilly. What can I say? Yeah, partner. I'm glad to be here. Which F1 show are we gate crashing into this time? Tell me, Qatar?
Well, Qatar. Come on, OBJ. You know you loved Qatar. You know you loved Qatar. Stop hiding the fact that you loved Qatar. Didn't you love Qatar?
Well, listen, it's a track in the middle of sand dunes. You know, the last episode I said we will be in Qatar. We'll be sat on top of the highest sand dune. You know, doing this recording. You know what happened? I was there. I couldn't find you. I heard you were in Saudi Arabia sand dune. How did you end up there?
Well, you have to forgive me. I kind of like thought the race, the Saudi race was first, but there you go. Anyhow, moving along swiftly. Qualies.
What
was your take on qualies?
Mercedes 1-2. I was very, very hopeful for Bottas because if we took that result into the main race, then things were beginning to look, very, very. I mean, we would have been in a much better position, Mercedes. I mean, as far as the constructor is concerned, that is because we cannot have Perez and Verstappen scoring points and only Lewis scoring point and Bottas being nowhere to be found. So I was so hopeful for Bottas, and I was thinking that maybe it's going to be a reversal of fortunes. I was suspicious. I'm thinking maybe George Russell's performance just seems to have disappeared. So I'm asking myself, maybe the beginning of the season, his engine was turned right up so that he can take the challenge to Bottas for the number 2 spot. And now the engine has been brought back to his normal operating window. George Russell's performance is nowhere. I mean, if you compare George Russell to Lando Norris and even Yuki, they seem to be improving while George seems to be further down the field. So, yeah, that was the highlight for me, clearly.
Yeah, well, my take on quali, I was shocked that Ricardo didn't make it into Q2.
He did, and he's not the only one. Did it? Carry on.
Yeah. Who was the other major casualty? What's his name?
The Ferrari guy.
The other Ferrari lad. Yes.
Leclerc. Leclerc didn't make it, which was a massive shock.
Those two, but maybe timing on track and all whatnot. But hey,
hang on, Billy. Tell me now. Now we have this kind of very, this lack of performance by Ferrari. Are you finally selling your Ferrari there? Because I think by now you should have been fed up.
Oh well, lack of performance wouldn't affect the Ferrari I've got. It's just a model.
Come on, you're a street racer. You're renowned for drag racing on the streets of London, and you're passionate about Ferrari, and I thought you might be finally getting rid of it.
Well, it's just a model Ferrari I've got. So hey, I don't know about. It's how fast I push it on my knees crawling after it that counts.
Absolutely.
Anyhow, back to the
enough of the banter. You say back to the race.
So the race, how did you see that race go?
Amazing. It was a natural win for Lewis. I would have been surprised if he did not win that race. I was very disappointed. Again, going back to quali, Bottas, he was nowhere to be found. And at some stage, I heard a friend Toto on the radio almost shouting at him, saying, "For God's sake, pass those cars. What are you doing? Are you asleep or what?" And I mean, he dropped the ball right from the onset. When once the whistle was blown, he just maybe had a gear in reverse or something because he seemed to be going backwards and everybody else was going forward. So Bottas, not quite sure. Lewis, a fantastic win, 25 seconds ahead of Verstappen. I mean, which account do you write that? That is just amazing.
I think you're being unfair to Verstappen here. Remember, he had a five place
Yeah, great. He had
penalty
a
on the
fight.
grid.
I understand.
So I'd like to give him, compliments for the fact that he was able to bring himself back to second position and finish at second. So
you're right.
where is due? Credit where is due.
You're right. It made up the paces very, very quickly the first few laps. So we need to give him a lot of credit for that. But then the cars he needed to overtake were not necessarily in the A list, if you see my point.
I knew you'd come up with something. But that all aside, I think my result of the day was Alonso in third. I think that was a fantastic result for the Alpine team. To make that even better, they ended up third and fifth, which helps them in their battle with the AlphaTauri team.
Well, it helps their bank account as well. If they're going to get more points in constructors, then it looks like there'll be more cash, going their way. So I mean, it was refreshing to see Alonso back on the podium. I have to say.
I think if memory serves me right, I'm just not too clear, but I think the last time he was on the podium was in 2014 or something like that.
Honestly, you're a lot better at data. I just know that I was about 2 years old the last time he was on podium. So,
OBJ. The kids are watching you. The kids are watching.
I understand. I mean, this is a kids' channel, you know that. So we have to cater for them as well.
So, all in all, what are you? I mean, yes, this result for Lewis has opened up the championship. It's either parties to win or lose right now. I think it's an even. I mean, yes, there's still about 8 points in it, but it could go anywhere now.
It could, and you're absolutely right. It could just swing either direction. But one thing we are clear about is Lewis's car is back on form, and I cannot overemphasize the fact that Bottas is in an identical car. What happened to the speed? So is it the car or you remember last season when there was this huge debate about being, car or driver, and people said, well, it was the car. So where is Bottas in all of this? I'm beginning to struggle, with Bottas's performance, or should I say, lack of performance. I cannot overemphasize that. Look at the overtake. He seems to be, he's being passed, and he's not really mounting any kind of a sensible defense. I mean, he's a guy that is not in the hunt for the championship. He has nothing to lose. He can defend fair and hard, but he's not even doing any of that. So I really don't know. Maybe again is his switched brand of breakfast cereal,
OBJ, okay. I'm gonna have to be, a bit horrible to you here.
Well, you are horrible all the time. I think I'm rather used to it.
It would appear that in your dictionary, the phrase "bad luck" doesn't exist, because hey, I put Bottas's woes down to bad luck. I mean, come on.
Come on. Well, you're talking about a consistent bad luck here. I mean, you really need to have the devil behind you to have the kind of luck Bottas is having. You know that.
Well, maybe he just has the devil behind him. Hey, come on.
I like that. Yes, he has the devil behind him.
Anyhow, this is me being horrible to everybody. I think I'm going to jump back on Bottas's back as well now and say, leave out of the Alpine boys book as well, because last time I was talking about, Checo showing how to be a support teammate.
Yes.
Did you hear the radio convo between Alonso, the team, and Ocon?
No, I
because
didn't pick up on that.
oh well,
Yeah.
when there was the threat of Checo catching Alonso to deprive him of third, he got on the team and he said to them, get Ocon to, make himself as wide as possible, elbows
Yeah.
out, to hold him up because, and basically, I think he was ideally asking for a return favor because, don't know if you remember Ocon's win.
Yes, when
that was a lot of that was due to Alonso holding Lewis up because
Lewis, I think was 99% of that was down to Alonso holding Lewis up.
If Alonso hadn't held Lewis up, I still tell whoever cares to listen that I believe Lewis would have won that race. But hey, water under the bridge. Anyhow,
yeah, it's a wonderful win, and I think we mustn't take the shine away from the 25.7 seconds to be exact.
But OBJ, you keep saying that, and I keep reminding you that Max started a couple of places down the grid. So hey, give him a break here. But what was kind of like interesting was how there was quite a number of tire failures.
Indeed, yeah, the front left tire, right, on virtually all of them.
So, but anyhow, I guess we look forward to Saudi Arabia now. An unknown because there hasn't been a Formula One race there, if I'm not wrong. I guess that stands to spice things up a bit more. Likewise, Yas Marina, I hear the circuit has been slightly modified. So you could say that's also another unknown. So it would appear that the last two races of the season are unknowns. And well, both for a very exciting finish to the season.
It's bound to be fireworks, 100%. It's bound to be fireworks. And I can see, Verstappen and Mr. Horner looking, slightly nervous, which the confidence they had and the humor, especially coming from Mr. Horner, seems to have, disappeared like the moon, So, I think, like you rightly said, because these circuits are new, Mercedes' speed is, and the confidence of Lewis, despite the several setbacks, the guy just seems to be unfazed, and I think it's caught everyone by surprise. I mean, the FIA still hasn't handed back the rear wing of the Mercedes, so apparently they've cut it to 1,001 pieces, and they still can't find anything wrong with it. Who knows what is going on? Is it like about 2 episodes we talked about the possibility of the engines being maximized in the Verstappen car in the early part of the season so that it can really get ahead, but they now have to turn the engine down. And Lewis's performance. This is the second race in that engine now that engine seems to be pushing out a whole lot of horsepower, straight line speed, overtaking, and the confidence is just simply amazing. So, going to this engine management issue, I have said this offline. I think they really ought to remove the team's ability to turn up or turn down those engines. They should allow the drivers to be in control of that solely, just like they manage a tire, because otherwise, we the paying viewers, or we at home getting all excited and beating ourselves up over these races, could easily lend itself to be manipulated, and I feel strongly about that because this is competitive sport.
OBJ, you seem to forget that the teams that are in it for prestige and financial rewards. If you leave the turning up and down of an engine to the drivers are bound to get overzealous and just keep it turned up and blow engines and cause teams.
Well, and it would be an indication of your racing prowess or skills. If you cannot manage your engine like you manage your tires, then you will lose. As simple as that. You know,
OBJ, I think you're asking a lot of the teams to give the drivers that kind of freedom. It's like, seriously, we're talking about mega box here. Who would do that?
I hear you.
But anyhow, I guess we need to wrap it up now. Any predictions for how the season will end? I know this is not the right question to ask you because I know what you're going to say. But hey, I thought I'd give it a shot.
Well, listen, UK is going to win the championship. That's my prediction. How about that?
Oh, okay. And how much are you putting on that?
I'm putting my health and everything I own on that.
Okay. You heard it here on Talk Formula One. OBJ has put his house on UK winning the title. Well, I guess we'll wrap it up here until we see you in Saudi Arabia. Like I keep saying, keep it locked here. Let us have your comments. You know, we've had very few comments. Are we that boring? Let us know what we can do to spice things up or tone them down. You know, and I look forward to hearing from you guys in the future. OBJ?
Yeah, well said, Billy. We've got to round up now. We'll see you all in Saudi Arabia. Keep safe. Let's talk from the one.
Ciao.